2025 is going to be magical, and I do believe that this video came to you for a reason. I'm going to speak and share with you and to you about something that I think when you speak about what you want in your life, what I speak about today is something that most people would not speak about. All the hardships. But even more than that, why some people keep experiencing bad stuff in their life, including me. So, and it's the opposite of what we really want. But to get what we really want, to get what you really want, to get a year to turn things around, to make sure that to experience life to the fullest in your life, I believe now that we do have to be able to look into the darkness also. And I know that sounds a little bit scary for some people, and it can be. So I'm going to share an image with you today, another image from nature that came to me. Yesterday I spoke about the bird and the seeds and how nature evolves. But this image today is different. It's kind of where it all started. It's about the seed. And you know, I learned some years ago on a seminar I went to this image of if you want oranges in your life, you have to plant orange seeds. If you want apples, you have to plant apple seeds. If you want success, you have to plant success seeds. And if you want luck, you have to plant luck seeds, and money seeds, and so forth. And it makes sense, right? Because it's kind of the programming of it all to plant those seeds. But the thing is, it's not that easy, right? Maybe you, like I did for many years, try to do the manifestations, or maybe you try to think about what you want, but it keeps coming back to you what you don't want. Ever tried that? So here comes one thing that I learned very recently. In my own story, what I learned from my close to bankruptcy, $1.5 million debt, I learned a lot about mindset. I learned a lot about strategies, which helped me to build a company to $1.5 million revenue in a very short time. But what I learned after my personal breakdown, after a relationship that was full of manipulation and you could say narcissistic relationship, what I learned there was much more deep. And I think a month ago I had an interview with a neuro coach here in Denmark who speaks about the science of the brain, and he told me about traumas. I've been very into traumas and worked with my traumas, and I released a lot of traumas. And this is what I'm speaking about. He told me that we know today that if we have a trauma experience in our life, and most people do, when we are young, when we are impacted very much by the world, and even when we are in the womb, we experience things. And if those experiences are more than what our nervous system can handle, it's a trauma experience. There's probably some better science explanation of this, but these are my words for this. But what I learned was that these experiences, what actually happens is that our mechanism put a protein wall around the experience. So because it was too much to handle, so it's kind of hiding it away. And the interesting thing here for me was that when I began looking into myself, when I had my breakdown, I could not do anything else but look into myself. I began to experience those protein walls, of trauma walls, protecting walls. And I also learned to be with that pain, with the darkness, with the experience inside. And this image that I just had recently, I'm just walking a little around here in the gray Denmark. This image that I had recently is that those trauma experiences that are hidden away behind a protein wall, that's also seeds, but they're just hidden. You know, like in nature, some seeds are hidden. And if you go here, now there's a gardener here in the summertime, but probably there's some kind of plant there that is not planted, but suddenly just came up of the earth. And that's the image that I have with these seeds. So if you know, if you've been seeking, if you feel that there must be something better in life for you, if you feel that there's something inside of you that is not happy and fulfilled, if you feel sadness, if you feel a lot of negativity or something like that, and you know that feeling for a long time in your life, because I'm sharing this because that's exactly what I experienced for so many years. I tried to be happy, I tried to do all the stuff in the outside world, being with a lot of people, working hard and all of these things, only to find out that I was still inside miserable. Like I mentioned in other videos, that I was working very hard. I was doing a lot of stuff to not feel those pains, to not feel the pain. And today, that's like, for me, the image is like the trauma inside of the protein wall. And that image too, that trauma, it is in there. And I do believe today that it controls something in our life. It controls something in our life. So if we keep experiencing bad things in our life, I do believe today we have to go back to the root. We have to go back to the root. And sometimes that root is the trauma behind the protein wall. And when our system, when I somehow it shows up and we have the possibility to face this, we have the gut to do it, we have the braveness to do it. For me, I didn't know how to, but I wanted to have the intention of feeling really happy inside. I had the intention of feeling fulfilled. And so today, like I shared in other videos, I do believe that relationship was a very hard way from the universe to help me to release some of those protein walls, to set myself more free, to become lighter, to feel better. And life has been, like I said, so much better after learning what to do, after being able to be with these things. And the funny thing here, and this is also something that I do believe that many people don't speak about, is that I see the coaches that's, wow, just do this and everything is good. But it can be that a lot of things releases in one session. I've had that with clients, with myself. But there might be more because we have so many experiences in our life. And so it's like an interesting, I wouldn't say game, but when we start doing this, when we're becoming open to what is going on, and we understand, when we feel that pain, somehow pain, when we understand not to run away from it anymore, but to be with it, and we understand how it feels like, and we understand how it feels like when we releases it, we understand how it feels like when it's gone, and when we feel much better and lighter after. And then the next one comes. We never know when. For some of us, it keeps coming. But it's not a bad thing. It's kind of maybe the work that we have to do, and not even say work, but it's just like the experience that we are having. And when we face that, when we are being with that, we can release that. And when we release that, everything becomes more light in your life and easier in your life. And maybe then the next month something new is coming up. But again, doing this work, I do believe, because I experienced it myself, on the other side every time, you will see more love, you will see better health, and you will see much more abundance. So I really wanted to share this with you today. The seeds, and the seeds behind the protein walls, the seeds that are protected from our own system from a time where we could not handle it. And that might even be small stuff, because we were very, very small. Our system, our nervous system was very new. A lot of inputs at the time. So a lot of great energy, a lot of success energy your way, and a lot of love your way.